Welcome. May the gods appear, our ancestors arise, within our hearts ablaze, the glory in the majesty, contemplation of the nameless, not spirit, nor being, creator, beyond the chasm. Amen, Amen, AmenRa. Our title is Which Osiris? It's not Osiris. Osiris, who is he? This one or this one? They can't be both. What does Osiris do? Who were the parents of Osiris? Who killed Osiris? How was Osiris killed? Myths about Osiris. How you can use Ausari. Why Africa must know who is Osiris? Why is it vital to know that Osiris is a Latin transliteration of the Ancient Greek Osiris, which is an adaptation of the original name which appears in the Khamitic language, written this way, African language. And this is the name they've called Osiris. It's not Greek, it's not Asian, it's not European, but is a Muntu. In hieroglyphic, his name appears with these letters. Since hieroglyphic writing lacks vowels, it is clear that the consonants will give us many variations of this name. Aser, Asar, Asari, Ausar, Ausir, Ausare, Wser, Wesir, or Wsjr, Usir, or Usire. How can we be so sure now and correct when we want to use the correct name? Why is it important we don't use the Greek? Hieroglyphics is an African language, not Afro-Asiatic. Therefore, Osiris spelled this way is a wrong, meaningless Euro-Gentile noun. The Bantu Chikaranga is Ausari. Ausari, not Ausi. There is no word like this in Bantu. All our Bantu words have vowels like this in phonetics. This is important in a very spiritual sense. Concerning African spirituality, correct names play a very powerful application. The greatest lie that has been perpetuated is an erroneous belief, accompanied by doctored images, Hollywood movies, that lie first by giving Osiris' name as Osiris. Since he was a Muntu, not a European or Asiatic, knowledge about his race and name has been the main secret why very few of us call upon him. This great god was of Nubian origin with very black skin, the son of the great Ra. This one is called Osiris. They can call him that. He appears in a movie, Gods of Egypt, and we do not worry much about that. More facts. This is a statue of Osiris Antonius. The statue represents Antonius, the favorite of the Emperor Hadrian, who died in the waters of the Nile 130 AD. In the area where the tragic event occurred, the emperor founded the city of Antinopolis in his honor. Antonius was deified and his cult as Osiris Antonius, so they incorporated him to our ancestor to steal the energy and the spirit of our ancestor. And this one is also another fake one. This is one of the greatest divine, and you can see that they are changing him a little bit, and here his hands are almost Euro-Gentile, and his legs here are almost Euro-Gentile, and the face has not yet been changed, but they have already jumped into our mysteries full full time in. And this was done by Gregory XVI, who requested it to be transferred to the Vatican in 1838 so it could be displayed in the new Egyptian Museum in the Vatican. And our brothers and sisters, Bantu brothers and sisters, ignore ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, saying they worshipped idols, but Europeans take them and love them. And in a few years ago, they took all of them, all of the important statues, and put them in Europe. Foreign invaders have gone on to steal our ancestors, and our ancestor, the divinity Ausari, he became Prometheus, Greek theft, in Greece. Enki in Sumerian theft by Assyriologists. For the Hebrews, he became Elohim, Quetzalcoatl in Central America, and Viracocha in the Andes. This is our divine, our spirit. And the Elohim, they say, who came from Mesopotamia, they say the world is surrounded, permeated and ruled by the Elohim, myriads of nameless supernatural beings, spirits inseparable from one another. They copied word by word verbatim from our Parutema Hore, so-called book of coming forth by day, the Egyptian book of the dead. What does Osiris do? Do you want to know? He will grant you justice, the afterlife, rebirth, and resurrection. Not the resurrection of flesh, but you shall know which resurrection we're talking about. As your preferred date, he will fight all forms of physical and spiritual poverty so that you triumph. He will bring fertility in your life. And this is how his name is written. Write this name down. Write this name down and keep it in a very safe place. Who killed Ausari? How was he killed? It is known as the coffin prophecy, which is impacting every melanin dominant human today. There is the Set or Shatter who trapped Ausari in a wooden chest and threw him into the Nile on a specific date, Adirara, November 13, when the sun passes through the scorpion, and in the 20th year of the reign of Osiris. Plutarch, a Roman writer, 100 AD, in his book, page 37, he noticed that and compare Horus or Horesu being beaten by a scorpion and Isisu summoning the sun, AmenRa, and the moon, Gahute, to heal him, as told in Sorrows of Isisu, line 205, and as rescripted in Joshua 10:13. You can see what they stole and put it in their books. This is Shatter, Shaitan, Satan, the devil, Set or Seth, who these are representatives of certain divine principles. How to rule Bantus? You must follow Ausari, and you must have the crook and the flail. Our ancient ancestors attached the greatest value in their admiration of Ausari. He represented truth, morality, and balance. He was a holy and righteous king who symbolized peace and brought stability amongst melanin-dominant humans. Powerful metaphysical myths about Osiris. The stars in the celestial heights are obedient unto thee, and the great doors of the sky open themselves before thee. Thou art he to whom praises are ascribed in the southern heaven. Southern heaven is southern Africa, all of the southern hemisphere. And the thanks are given to thee in the northern heaven. So when the sun crosses over and goes over into the cold areas, they become excited and happy. The imperishable stars are under thy supervision, and the stars which never set are thy thrones. This is very interesting, very powerful. This is Ausari, a large statue of Ausari 332-330 BCE. And when they tell you he's a European or they want to be very tricky about it, please capture this text, this slide, keep it as yours. This is our greatest ancestor, the doorway into the afterlife. There he is. We are not interpreting, we are not saying anything. He was a Muntu straightforward. There again, the bronze statue. And here is his grave, which was found in Abydos or Ablaze. How can you use Ausari? This painting depicts the divinity Ausari in the center. And there's a lotus here, and there are divine forces there. And these are all levels of dimensions. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 dimensions that we can access or sit on top, but Ausari sits on infinite dimensions. And on the other side, we have divinities Isisu and Nephtides. Right, Nephtides and Isisu there with their thrones. The image emphasizes the difference of flesh of the subjects represented. Isisu and Nephtides have a golden skin, which symbolizes their immortality. So these are divine principles, divine forces, spirits or powers or divinities that are already operational within us because we are feminine and masculine at the same time. While Ausari shows his hands and face colored green. Why? Reflecting his resurrection or rebirth or reincarnation. Immortality equals the multi-level soul, the real you. Resurrection is awakening to your Ubuntu Ma'ati role. So once you awake to your role and you fulfill your role and you incorporate the teachings of Ma'ati, you are ascending. You are not descending because you descended into the flesh where you dwell. This all represents superhuman strength, stamina, durability, agility, and reflexes. Osiris possesses the power to project elemental energy for a variety of effects. Very, very important. This is how you can use it to absorb that elementary energy that he sends. Greatest ancestor, veneration, action. Ausari is a harmonization of 2 ancient divinities, one being Kenti Amenteu. Kenti, life, Amenteu, on earth. An ancient divinity of the dead from Abydos. He also was and is a force field of attributes of ancient divinities. Understand that. Many, many ancient divinities. At Pekairu, in the city of Abydos, it was known that Osiris, spirit, lozi, mzimu, or energy emanated from very ancient times. Many ancient Africans would try to be buried at Abydos. It is considered the spiritual center of ancient Africans. Ausari was worshipped by ancient Africans because he had become a deified ancestor, Mzimu, Lozi, spirit, or Nusa, or divinity in English, for melanin dominant human beings. This is why in the pyramid text there are names such as Osiris Unas, Osiris Papi, Osiris Teta. Why? Because he became the judge of the dead by giving them a resurrection and judgment. Therefore, as per Ma'ati obligation, when you die, your physical flesh, if you are judged well, your name may be attached to Ausari. Not Osiris, but Ausari. Ausari Dumizulu. That's how you will be known. This is ancient Khamitic Gnosis from the book of Coming Forth by Day, spell 144. I know you, and I know your names. it is very clear and very important to understand that throughout Khamitic history, Ausari was known by various names at different places and at different times. There are over 200 powerful names which you can use for specific needs, as they are used to call him in every shrine or temple where he was. The choice is yours to know his real names, so that you can call him in your journey and afterlife. If the answer is yes, send us an email on join@marifado.com so we can share with you these 200 names. Man is a god in the body of an animal, according to the pronouncement of ancient philosophy. The power of words, the power of names. This was written by Alfred Boyd Kuhn and given here by Richard Kassar. Subscribe to our channel, Khamitic Buru Ethics. This preacher by L.M. Dumizulu of Marifado, saying we are rebuilding our greatness. Join us today and send us an email so that we can all build this greatness together. Tatenda siyabonga, enkos, asante sana, edupe. Ausari, not Osiris. Ausari, not Osiris. Ausari, not Osiris.